Well, g'day flatties and globe defenders. It's Critical Thing from Down Under. Well, first of all, I'd like to sincerely wish Ranty well. I know you're having some health issues at the moment, and I hope you recover from them quickly. So let's get on with the shenanigans.
Well, here's the thing, right? The Globers are so lazy, right? The Globers are so lazy, right?
Yeah.
Let me open this, right? So this.
Some of them aren't. There's one or two that, do some stuff, but 99% of them don't actually even go outside.
So
you heard what was said there. Globers are so lazy, and 99% of them don't actually go outside. There's one or two that do something, but 99% don't go outside. Well, first of all, I'm just going to point out that that's wrong. Let's just take a small sample of the wolf pack and Australian debunkers. And I will take a little bit look first at my work and a small sample of their work. Now, this is a sample I've taken of 5 Globers. So according to that statement, 99% of them don't get out, and 1 or 2 actually do some work. Well, let's test that. Now, this, you'll see a little bit more of this later, but this is me getting out. And the wolf pack have gone to several far and away places, not just in Australia. And here's me going out at Byron Bay with the red tube experiment that Antonio Subarat's proposed.
the Globers are so lazy.
And here we are at the wind farm in Thailand, showing curvature there. And I've created a model of the globe to illustrate some points, to try and educate flat earthers on some things, to use the model to illustrate what happens. And I've gone out at Alexandra Headland and take some interesting film there.
The Globers are so lazy.
Byron Bay. You'll notice that the lighthouse is plainly visible, but the beach isn't. And you can't blame the visibility on that one, because you can't see the water beyond that horizon and certainly can't see the beach. But I can see all the way to the lighthouse. And at Moffat Beach, you should be able to see more of the ocean. Anti-crepuscular rays in Phetchabun in Thailand. Flight over Antarctica.
The Globers are so lazy.
Crepuscular rays in Nong Khai in Thailand. Weight versus latitude measurements I've done in Brisbane, Perth, Phuket, Nong Khai. Mount Cootha in Brisbane. Sunrises below eye level.
The Globers are so lazy.
Phuket again. Just another eye level check. Taking pictures in Perth, in Western Australia.
The Globers are so lazy.
Bangwad Dam in Phuket. Some more pictures from Mount Cootha. And I think that one's from Hastings Point in New South Wales. There's my lunar transit, the ISS, measuring vacuum next to air pressure.
The Globers are so lazy.
And looking another sunset in Phuket at Patong Beach. And some more photos from Moffat Beach. And I've done some modelling of the flat Earth, just to show what you would expect to see on a flat Earth. Taken some photos of shadows on the underside of a surface.
The Globers are so lazy.
Solar transit. So am I one of those 1 or 2 that actually does something? And a comparison of flat versus curve. Here's what flat looks like, and here's what curve looks like. Easy. And then we have other members of the wolf pack. Ruhif. He's gone to California to take these measurements.
The Globers are so lazy.
He's gone to the Blue Mountains to take another measurement. Where's Wally constructed all of this to do the moonlight test? Where's Wally and his moon field rotation project?
The Globers are so lazy.
Wade's Underworld and his Australian sunset. Wade's Underworld and his star trails. And Hugh Jars. He's doing the great observation in the Southern Hemisphere experiment. But that's okay. We all sit at home in our armchairs and do mathematics, according to that what was said. And then there's Wolfie, of course, Wolfie 6020. Everybody should know his channel. He's on the way to Hawaii in this one. At the Washington, D.C., the monument. New York. So you see, we travel far and wide all over the globe to bring these things for you flat earthers. So don't say we don't do anything. Let's get on with the show.
So this test, trying to measure the shadow that would be cast, on the Earth, from the moon. This test is something the Globers should be doing because this is their claim. All they've got is some sketches and some diagrams, and they say this is what happens, but they haven't tested it.
Yes,
so realistically, this is something that they should be doing instead of I'm going out of my way to try and validate their claims or disprove their claims, whichever. But this is something.
You notice that Freudian slip there? He's going out to validate our claims or disprove them or whatever. Yes, Ranty, we're well aware that you do often go out and validate our claims. And we wish you well in this endeavour as well.
Something that they should have done. The same with this one. Getting the pipes inside the pipe and trying to recreate this slight hump and running some water over it to try and see whether or not we're getting any looming.
So before we get on to the looming, let's have a look at something else. So here's Del Boy 1967. He's another Aussie. And he's done the whole solar eclipse scale model thing and answered a couple of burning questions that the flat earthers have been asking. So don't say we don't do anything and we're lazy. Go and check out Del Boy's video. Everything there you want to know about the solar eclipse. And Mr. Thrive and Survive asked for an experiment to be done, and Mr. Sensible did it. Bobby Shafto did it. And Where's Wally did it. So you see, you ask, we deliver.
This is what the test is for.
You're forgetting they're happy. They're happy with their observe and declare. They're happy with their explanations. These people actually like living in this fantasy world, so they don't ever think about doing something to prove what they're saying. If you could.
And I've just shown you many examples. We're not just happy sitting at home. We're not just happy with explanations. And this is why we do mathematics. And you'll say that flat earthers hate mathematics. And they say, oh, you don't show us anything, you just do mathematics. Well, I'd just like to say a little bit about mathematics first. Mathematics is important. It's what separates the children from the adults in the science world. The mathematics needs to be done. Otherwise, how would you know that when you look out across the ocean and say, it looks flat to me, there's no way of telling if it's flat or curved without the mathematics. You need the mathematics. The mathematics don't lie, except when you fudge the numbers. But that's a person fudging the numbers. The mathematics are accurate. The mathematics are a model. And no, we don't think that mathematics is reality. But it is a good representation of reality. It allows us to make predictions. It allows us to verify things. It allows us to actually make a concrete determination whether something is curved or flat. So we need the mathematics. And just because flat earthers can't do mathematics doesn't mean that the earth is flat. Yes, we will do mathematics because it's essential. But let's get on and try to do something without some maths, just so you flat earthers can be okay.
Draw it with, on a whiteboard or with some numbers. That's good enough.
And the thing is, like I say, Brenda's in here running her mouth, as they normally do. But hey, I'm out here trying to do your work, what you should be doing, And as for the final test about strapping the torch onto the drone, yeah, that's for flat Earth. Because I'm going around, I'm trying to find, some realistic proofs here, because we've been asking for years, for your proofs, and all you've
we've given them.
Come back with is mathematics.
I told you we need the mathematics, and we've done plenty of demonstrations and proofs. It's just that you just don't take any notice of them, and that's probably why it's a good idea that you do your own.
Not gone out and you've not tried to prove it. You've not gone out and tried to show me looming. You've just said, oh.
Yes, we have. You've just poo-pooed it, just like I said. And there'll be some more demonstrations towards the end of this video.
If you can see it, it's looming. That isn't a test. That isn't going out and actually proving whether or not you've actually shown and demonstrated that something's been loomed up.
Oh, I have to say something here, because flat earthers do this all the time, especially Travis from the Plain Truth, the ether burn guy. He just says stuff that, and you just heard what Ranty says. Apparently it's perfectly okay for a flat earther to just say stuff and not have any proof, but when it comes to globe, the demand for proof must show me proof. But oh no, I don't have to show any proof. Really?
Saying that it's loomed up is not proving it. So you got to think out of the box to try and do these things. Maybe it might not work. Maybe it will work. But at least I'm going out of my way to try and do this. At least I'm trying to break the deadlock, because it is a deadlock. You guys have brought nothing to the table except for mathematics. That's it.
No, we bring everything to the table, but we also bring mathematics. I was going to laugh about this one.
It's a deadlock when it shouldn't be. They will not concede on even the things that don't affect the shape of the ground. They won't concede on, like, the weird shit that goes on with the moon.
No, we're not going to concede any kind of bollocks. And I don't know what weird stuff you're talking about in the moon, but I've heard things about the moon being see-through. Well, no, we're not going to concede that. The moon's not see-through. And also about the moonlight being cold. Well, Wally's done the tests, and no, we're not going to concede that either. No, we're not going to concede any bollocks, no matter where it comes from. It has nothing to do with we just going to call something black or white, which is the favourite tactic of flat earthers.
They won't concede, even though it makes no difference to what shape the actual Earth is. Because we say it's black, they'll say it's white. If we started saying we know the sky's blue, they'd come back and go, no, it's not.
This here is a marvellous piece of projection. How many times have we said to flat earthers, oh look, here, this is proof of the globe. No, it's not. This horizon does not rise to eye level. No, it's not. Oh, really?
They think we want to be flat earthers. They think we actually want. They don't realise that, hang on, no, we've gone looking for globe proof and couldn't find it. So, we're left with no option but to say, come on, can you please prove these things to us? And they won't do it.
I think I'm going to have to put on my flat earth costume now. Hi, I'm a flat earther, and I've been looking for globe proof for years, but I have never been able to find any. You know, I don't really want to be a flat earther. I want the globe people to show me the proof. You know, but I cannot see any anywhere. They say they've shown me proof, but I can't see it. Why should we trust those lying globers anyway? I mean, they're all indoctrinated sheep anyway. Whoa. Sorry, getting a bit too caught up in the role there. Well, that was a bit scary, wasn't it? Anyway, on with the looming.
Well, as I say, Brenda's joined and she said that they've already done all the tests. So my question to Brenda is then, can you show me a video or something that shows essentially the test that I've been asking? Show me a demonstration of somebody going out of the way to try and prove that something has been loomed up.
Well, it's been done, and you've poo-pooed them and really not taking much notice anyway. But let's have a look at Ranty's proposed test.
Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to angle this ever so slightly, you know, off level, so that it's got a very slight runoff. And then I'm going to filter some water down the edge of the pipe of the guttering. So the water will basically be running over this pipe or this plastic trim, and hopefully that little you know, bulge that I'll have created by squishing it a little bit and raising that up will give the same simulated effect of, you know, of it going around a curve. So if I'm running water from one end over this slight hump here, and I've obviously got an object at this side that I'm trying to film, and at this end I've got the camera, I can do a test on that.
Well, the only thing I have to comment on there is that it may be that you won't get enough temperature gradient, but I hope you can do that test well enough to see something. But somebody else has already done this kind of test. They've done it on their driveway, which is a good one because the driveway would be hot. So let's take a look. So the driveway is curved. There's another longer video that does show that. So don't try and deny that, flatties. So he's going to pour some cool water, create a temperature difference in the air, maybe a little bit of moisture as well, I don't know. But the water runs down the driveway and cools a proportion of the driveway. And look at that, you can see something which was previously obscured by the curve. So it's loomed up. So something has been loomed up from behind an obstruction. Pretty simple. How can you get that wrong? So, but anyway, I'm sure you will find a way, even though it's pretty much exactly the same as your experiment. You've seen this sort of thing before. Let's see how you handled it.
Here is going to show this old trotted out video that I'm all sure you've seen before.
So how can this happen, I hear you ask? Well, let's have a look at Dan Joss. He is demonstrating how to use liquid nitrogen to create a hot air, cold air temperature gradient and allowing the light to bend over the curve. And that
So this guy here has put some liquid nitrogen onto basically I think it's a hot stove or something like that, or
It's just a can. It's a curved surface.
something. And what you so this liquid nitrogen and the temperature difference needed to create this this effect, this little smudge lifting up and then dissipating again.
That smudge lifting up is something that is loomed, lifted up. Yes, that's what it is. Loomed up over the curve.
When the temperature differences change, he's going to try and say that this is what's happening in the video.
reveals what's behind the curve. So that's a brilliant little demonstration. I'll play a bit of it for you here, just the good bits. And thanks very much, Dan, Josh. This is a really good little demo. So this is a large thermal gradient, and it's over a very small distance, but it's not too dissimilar to what we're seeing here on Harry's water.
So the points here, see, this is a very small difference. What we're trying to do is amplify an effect, because normally we'd see it over several kilometres, a very small amount of refraction. So we have to, for such a small distance, you know, a metre or two, we have to amplify the effect, and that's what the liquid nitrogen does. It creates a bit of an extreme temperature difference so that we can duplicate kilometres of air in a very small distance. So it's a legitimate test as far as I'm concerned, and very cleverly done. But, of course, the flatties, what do? They deny everything, call everything that was black as white. And look, Dr. John D says the liquid nitrogen displaces normal air, so it's not just a thermal gradient. Well, what do you say about that? Air is 4/5, 78% nitrogen. So I don't know what point it's trying to make. We're just trying to create some kind of gradient. Just something to refract the light and illustrate that something can be loomed up over the curve. It doesn't matter whether it's nitrogen or pure air. Never mind. We come to my little experiment. Now, Ranty's asked for proof that something can be loomed up from behind an obstruction. So something behind something, because of refraction, it can become visible. So here's my experiment. This is my obstruction, my flat earth theodolite there, and I have some water in a glass behind there. Now, the bottom of the glass is behind the obstruction. You can clearly see that. So there is something obstructed, and you can't see it normally. But with refraction, you can see it. So this is an illustration of the principle that refraction can bring something up over an obstacle. Now, it's only a very, very short distance, so we have to use extreme refraction again. So let's start. We get the focus, will come in a minute. And there. So I'm just going to pause that. There is a coin at the bottom of the glass. So you can see the coin there. Now that coin is not where it is. That is an apparent position. It's loomed up. The coin is actually below this surface. Very practical, no mathematics. This is just how refraction works. We're using water so we can amplify the refraction just to illustrate the point. We move the water a little bit so that, you know, you can see it's not, zoom out so you can see it's not fake. And we lose the focus when we zoom out, zoom in, but it'll come back. And there's the coin. Now, just so that you know this is not a trick, I'll pick up the cup, take out the water, put the coin back in. So you see the coin was in there? Empty. You can't see the coin. So the coin is behind the obstruction. Then we introduce the refraction. And you can, once that clears, you'll start to see the coin there. There it is. Now you can clearly see the coin has been refracted up over the obstruction. So there, that's pretty simple, isn't it? A demonstration that doesn't require mathematics. Will the flat earthers accept it, or will they just not see it? So please do like and subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thanks very much.